Well, hello there, Virgo. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we're doing your mid-May reading. So let's take a look at what you can expect over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Great adventure. Take a risk and venture forward. Love that. And Hawk Spirit, let Spirit be your guide. I feel like there's this energy of kind of like, I'm not going to say that you're completely going in a new direction, okay? But this is a little bit about taking a risk and allowing yourself to move forward, but allowing your intuition, your guides, asking for their help and allowing them to help you. I feel like there's this strong energy where you could be a little bit stuck up in your head, trying to figure something out. But you're relying on logic, right? You're almost like, yeah, you're just kind of like stuck up in your head. It's kind of like a little bit of kind of like, how did I get here? You could be thinking, this is the never ending story card, right? You could be sitting there going, oh my goodness, how have I got myself into either into a situation, right? Or also feeling like, how can I get, there's something here about how can I get myself almost like inspired, motivated to move forward. It's almost like, this is a never ending story. These are patterns that we see in our life, right? But there's something that you're trying to go towards. You're trying to find this balance. Truth be told, time for a nap. Wow, new life. Come to the edge. Okay, you have fates. There's something spectacular up ahead on your path. Okay, so brand new beginnings, fated. Okay, this is the fates card right here. And this is all about things that are on your path. Fated things, your destiny. Okay, and it's a new cycle that is coming in for you. But it's almost as if you're not willing to truly get in the boat and allow yourself to set sail because there's something that's holding you back. We got to get to that because the truth of the matter is that you want something different, but you have a deception card. I think this is you in your own head. Okay, deceiving yourself about why you're not getting in the boat. Or if you're in the boat, you're kind of like not pushing off from the dock. You're saying life jacket. It's kind of like you want a life raft, or you're like, okay, I'll get in the boat, but only if I can wear a life jacket, only if there's a lifeboat, only if there's, it's almost as if you want to know you're going to be safe. Okay. And it's kind of like, I feel like for some of you, you're okay. You may be even saying, it's okay. I'm surrendering to the journey. I'm surrendering to the journey as long as I have a life jacket and a lifeboat. And Spirit's saying, but that's not truly surrendering to the journey. There's something here about you're trying to keep yourself safe in a certain situation, right? And you're kind of like deceiving yourself, thinking that it's whatever the life jacket or the lifeboat might represent for you. So it's kind of like you're keeping yourself safe, but you're telling yourself that it's reasonable to want to wear a life jacket, okay, in the boat, and also want a life raft, okay? You're telling yourself, well, that's reasonable, right? Because I could get out there and then, there could be a storm. There could be something that could come up. But here's the thing, asking yourself, why the life jacket? Why the lifeboat? I mean, they are reasonable, right? They truly are. But it's helping you to calm. I feel like there's something, it's helping you to calm your fear and anxiety of falling overboard or the boat going down or a storm coming in, right? So it's kind of like you're concentrating. Here's the thing. Okay, so Virgo, I think the thing is that you're concentrating on your fears of what may happen. So you're kind of like bogging yourself down with all of these life preservers, okay? And it's kind of like so cumbersome because you're concentrating on what might happen, the bad that might happen, a storm, a hole in the boat, right? A big wind comes and knocks you overboard. But okay, it's kind of like me. I don't like to fly. And I'm very reasonable about it. That's kind of like, I have no control over that plane and therefore I don't want to get on a plane, right? But understanding that it does prevent me from going and traveling to some places in the world that I would really like to go. This is the same type of thing. It's kind of like you're bogging yourself down thinking about all of the things that could go wrong in whatever this venture is, right? It's kind of like you're bogging yourself down so much with that you're packing the boat with all of this life preservers and safety equipment or whatever. Tying yourself to the boat so that if you fall over, you'll be able to climb back up. Whatever it is, it's kind of like allowing yourself to see, but you're making decisions. Then you're understanding too that you're making decisions based on fear, not based on where it is that you want to go. So it's kind of like understanding that the thing that's holding you back is the same exact thing that is you're telling yourself it's logical. It's logical for me to want all of this safety stuff, right? I'm not saying that you should probably make sure there's a life jacket for you on the boat, right? But it's also understanding spiritually. It's kind of like you're still focusing on the fear instead of saying, okay, yeah, I want to make sure I have a life jacket for me on this boat, right? But also not being fearful that you may need it, instead of saying, yeah, that would be nice to have a life jacket. That sounds reasonable, but I'm concentrating on where I'm going. I'm not making plans. I'm making plans for when I get to the destination. I'm not making plans for all the bad things that could happen on the way there. You see the difference? Because it's a total energy change. When you're focusing on what you want to create or what is going to occur in the future, you're putting your time, your energy, your thoughts into that instead of all of the pitfalls that might happen on the way, right? Then let's look at it spiritually, law of attraction. If you're focusing on where you want to go and how wonderful it's going to be when you get there, then that's positive energy and manifests that location or destination, that goal, whatever it is that you want. But if you're looking at all the pitfalls that might happen on the way there, then you're going to manifest more pitfalls because you're making decisions based on fear, not based on this excitement for what the future may hold. Take a look at that, Virgo, because I feel like that is what's holding you back. Once again, it's kind of like, oh my goodness, there could be all these pitfalls, right? Or thinking about, wow, this is going to be a journey, right? I'm going to be able to spend days on the deck, sunning or whatever. I'm going to be able to fish. I'm going to see whales on the way, right? Instead of focusing on, oh, I may fall overboard. There may be a storm. The boat may capsize, right? Instead, think about all the people that you're going to meet on this journey to your destination. All the wonderful new people, situations, foods that you might eat on the journey, on the ship. Kind of like understanding that the journey is part of the destination. And the way that we approach our energy about the journey is just as important as the energy we put into the destination. Yeah, it's your anxiety. Look, you have the Nine of Swords. I'm sending you so much love because you're staying up at night thinking about all the ways that how things are going to go wrong. So you're only manifesting more of things not going your way, right? You're just filling the boat to the point where you can't even move because you have all of this safety gear or whatever, GPSs, sonars, flares, whatever, for all the things that might go wrong. You can't even move around on the deck, right? And it's kind of like you're focusing on all the pitfalls. It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to allow myself to not focus on the pitfalls and instead put my energy into, oh my gosh, what does it feel like when I get there? What is it going to feel like? How exciting. Say you're launching a YouTube channel, your first subscriber, how excited you'll get. Your 100th subscriber, your 1,000th subscriber, right? Your 100,000 subscribers, right? It's kind of like, wow, I can't wait. What kind of videos am I going to put out there? How am I going to encourage my viewers to come back? How am I going to build community with my audience? Thinking about why you're doing it, getting back into the heart of it instead of fearing that it's going to end. And that is your obstacle, right? It's all about fearing what is going to go wrong on this journey. It's kind of like, no, allow yourself to enjoy the journey. Even if it's difficult, it's kind of like, okay, here's another opportunity for me to look at the world a little bit differently. Because your advice here is you are going to be successful. You have the Six of Wands. What a beautiful energy, right? This is victory, being acknowledged for the journey. Part of the whole story of your life is the journey. It's not just the destination. You have a leg up coming in, right? This is the Ace of Pentacles, something that's near and dear to your heart. You have the loving woman here. This is the Empress energy. Stepping into that energy of knowing, right? Of acknowledging that you deserve what it is that you want. Now, you could look at it two different ways. Do you want to look at what you deserve and want to attract into your life, right? Or do you want to look at what you are concerned about happening, right? There's a total difference in your energy when you are allowing yourself to say, okay, yes, I am a little bit concerned that there could be a situation where I may need a life jacket. Okay, so I'm going to allow myself to take a life jacket. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's not concentrating on the fact that you may need a life jacket, right? Instead, it's kind of like, look at all the sunshine, right? The boat is flying through the water. It's kind of like allowing yourself to enjoy it. Enjoy the sun on your face instead of being concerned all the time that a storm is going to brew and come in and capsize the boat. It's a little bit like even my own children say to me, Mom, do you know how many planes go down? Planes are a safe way to travel. It really is something that holds me back, right? It is understanding that there are things that I would like to do if I allowed myself to get onto a plane, right? I admit that. It's whether I want to do something about that. And perhaps you're at one of those ventures in your life, understanding there is something your heart truly desires, but are you going to allow yourself to hold yourself back because of the fear? Or are you going to allow yourself to recognize the fear and also say, I recognize the fear, but I still want to go towards this. And therefore, I'm going to put positive energy into moving towards what it is that I want to manifest. Powerful, powerful. I feel like, we have Jupiter transiting May 25th. This is huge. This is huge. And I feel like there is, Jupiter is the planet of luck. And next week, I'm going to do some readings around that. But this is a little bit like a lucky break. Like you have a lucky break coming up, but it does mean that you have to take a little bit of a risk. Are you willing to do that in order to go on the adventure of your lifetime? Or are you going to allow yourself to be deceived and keep yourself stuck? Because it's kind of a little bit of recognizing what it is that you really and truly want for yourself. Are you willing to override the fears in order to go towards what it is that your heart truly desires? And if you're not, then maybe it's time to say, okay, I'm not going to put any more time and energy into that dream. It's kind of like, for me, if I really wanted to go somewhere, right, to travel to somewhere on the other side of the world, I either would put time and energy into overcoming the fear, right? Maybe doing something truly about it. If I really wanted it, I would do that, okay? But I think, at least for now, and maybe it's an illusion, a delusion, right? That it's not what I want at this moment. So it's kind of like, okay, I've allowed myself to say, yeah, okay, I'm not really willing to go there. It's not something that I really want. But sometimes we also have to allow ourselves to get to that point where we say, then I'm not going to think about it anymore. I'm going to put my positive energy into something else. And I feel like you're kind of at that precipice. I do want you to know, if you take the leap, you're going to be successful, right? It's allowing yourself to take the leap. Either take the leap or it's time to say, yeah, okay, I'm not going to put any more time or energy into this, because you really are. You're putting so much time and energy into trying to keep yourself safe. It's time to take the plunge. That's all I have to say. That is the message. Let spirit, right? Let spirit be your guide. Allow your fears. Give your fears up to your guides, to your angels. Say, okay, I'm wanting to go towards this. Guide me. Help me to make the right decisions. Don't feel like you have to make all the decisions yourself. All right, Virgo, let's pull a soul truth card for you. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. What am I most afraid of losing? Yeah. Okay, as we grow, change, and transform our lives, it requires us to let go of something that was to make room for what will be. If you were able to take the big leap today, would you feel scared of losing love, safety, or belonging? What if it was a big fat lie? What if it was impossible to lose any of those things because you have the power to give everything you need to yourself? Very much hermit energy there, right? Your energy of understanding. You are going to be safe on this journey. But if it's kind of like you're not allowing yourself to step into that energy of trusting yourself, of trusting the universe, of knowing you are going to be okay, of looking at your fears very truthfully, right? Of allowing yourself to look at the fears and not allow them to be a delusion to keeping you from focusing on what it is that you really want, instead of trying to focus on what may go wrong or what your fears are, right? Yeah. Interesting. Capricorn had a very similar message. I think the universe, I think your guides are just kind of like saying, it's time to fly. It's time to like allow yourself to go all in. Like, you can't go all in and always be safe for every single scenario that might go wrong, right? And that's the problem, is that sometimes we feel like we can't allow ourselves to go forward because we've created all of these delusions of things that could go wrong. But we're concentrating on the negative, on what could be wrong, instead of putting our time and energy, our enthusiasm, our love into going after what our heart truly desires. Wow, powerful energy there, Virgo. I'd love to hear in the comments below how this might be playing out in your life. And I'm encouraging you to take those steps, take the risk, venture forward. Great things await you. All right, Virgo, I'm going to leave it there. I love you so much. Thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.